decided to come and sit out in nature again today because I told you guys this morning, did you read my post, that you have to come and connect with trees? Ready? Check it out. Let me show you. The trees. The power of the trees. How to protect yourself from EMFs. Did you read that this morning? This is where I am. Creekside. Go and check it out on my... if you scroll down, you'll see that post about the trees. Just let me pull this up a bit more. And yeah, like it's been raining for 2 weeks straight here almost. And the sun's out again today. The forecast said it was going to rain again today, but it hasn't yet. So even though it's windy, I'm trusting that this is going to be okay. So let me know if it is too windy and if the wind's too annoying on the microphone, and I'll try and do something about it. Hey Kylie. So I wanted to talk about this thing of pixel portals and crazy meditation stories. If you saw my post last night, I did the full moon ceremony just further down there actually, which was a bit of a kind of crazy or out there place to even do a ceremony right next to a kind of main road drive. But as always, I trust where I'm called to go, and it was really, really powerful to... And I'm not sure, do you guys feel that sense of power that has increased, or is that just me recently? Because it feels so, so strong, right? And I'd love to know, there's a few of you watching live, let me know if you have seen a pixel portal before, or if you even know what it is. Just let me know, if you have seen one, or no, you don't even know what it is. Please just say yes or no, so I can share a bit more clearer. I would love to know if you've ever even heard of a pixel portal, and yeah, I feel a little bit excited about it, to be honest. And I also want to share about crazy meditation stories today as well. I was sharing it last night on the full moon ceremony, and I got the message. I'm like, I need to share this with people. I'm like, okay. So please let me know. No idea what a pixel portal is. Yeah, thanks for sharing, Ben. So it was a bit phenomenal, and I don't know if I just was so, and I still am today, because so deeply connected and clear. I'm really not sure what it is. Maybe this is just normal next level, because I've always been so in tune, clear, and you guys know, right? All my posts that spot on, or they've resonated with you, or my psychic readings have just been you've read me like a book, even though this is one for everyone on a Tuesday tarot. And it just feels like my power's just increased recently. Maybe you guys have felt it too, and it's the global shift. I'm not kind of sure. Do you feel that you've increased in significant power recently? Please let me know yes or no too, or give me some love hearts if you have felt the shift, because it's been really strong. And I just finished this morning workshop 3 for Heal the Land, and yesterday was in the middle of it, and I didn't even know, or I didn't plan it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do it on the full moon. It was just looking at my diary, and as I do, I just trust where everything fills into my schedule. And it was a full moon yesterday, obviously. So, with the full moon power, plus us holding the full moon ceremony, and I'm in the middle of doing Heal the Land workshops. And in Heal the Land, talking about the portals, and you've been recently through a huge positive shift. Yay! Yeah, so yes, there's a global shift and everybody's changing, but I also want to acknowledge, it's changing for the people that are doing the work too, because whilst, things kind of evolve on their own too, we play a part in how we shift in our life too. So yay for feeling the shift positively. Well, it's kind of not always nice and positive, but huge positive shift lately. That's exciting, Benjamin. So did the Heal the Land workshop 2 yesterday morning, and then in the evening, held the full moon ceremony, yeah? And because with Heal the Land, you know, we're talking about souls passing over, you know, like if you guys have been following me, you've seen that I went to Brewarrina at Christmas time and, you know, discovered all, you know, the slaughterings that have been going on with the Indigenous tribes. Now it's kind of not new news, right? But for people, you know, when I went there, and anyway, long story short is that it spurred on Heal the Land, right? And so in the training yesterday was about the portals and opening them. Now for me, when I'm talking and I'm teaching about opening the portal of light for souls to cross over in a mediumship style training, which is what, you know, a big part of Heal the Land is that sense of, like, for me, it's just like, I mean, like if you're at the training, like on the slide to try and get the images out of my head and show you guys. I can't wait till eventually my graphic designer can pull those images out of my brain and show you these amazing, you know, intricate, you know, flows of energy and more that I always see all the time when I'm talking. But it's just like a white circle. I was like, cool, the portal is a white circle on the page, right? I'm like, well, that's it. Like, where's the portal of light, right? That's the portal of light. So what is a portal? You know, well, if we hear about time travel or, you know, like in the shows like Outlander, they, you know, travel through the stones, the TV series. So, you know, that's a portal, or a portal to, like, basically a portal is a portal to another dimension. It's a doorway to another dimension. So like Stargate, you know, like the show Stargate, and they, you know, turn the portal on and you know, time travel to a different place in time or different dimension. A portal is a place, it's a doorway to another dimension, right? So with, you know, like in Heal the Land, when I'm, you know, talking and all my mediumship training and trust intuition and all of that, when we're talking about the portal of light is where souls go to cross over or go to heaven, or, you know, whatever you want to call it, go to the other side. That's where all the souls return back to the light or whatever, yeah? So it's a portal of light. Now, when I hold my full moon ceremonies, just like when I hold my, like anything really, when I jump on live stream or I'm giving, you know, psychic readings, I'm being intuitive. I'm trusting what comes through, and I sit here and I tell you speaking from an intuitive point of view, right? It's just what's channeling through, it's flowing through me. It's like my psychic readings, my tarot readings, my one-on-one healings, you know, that's how I work. I'm intuitive. And so it's no different when I turn up to a full moon ceremony. I kind of have an idea what we're going to do, but necessarily it's not like structured, we're doing this and this and this. I turn up, I create the space, I listen and I channel and I hold space for what's coming through. Now, usually, and I really noticed a difference yesterday too, and I'm not sure what that is. Usually, you know, like when I start ceremony, I'm like, cool, let's first open the ceremony. You know, there's special rituals to open the, you know, 6 directions, hold space and call in all that. And I didn't yesterday. I just felt cold. It was just like, just sit on the ground. I couldn't even set up the crystal grid, everything. It was just like, it's not working. And I was just got the message just to sit. And I'm like, okay, just sit. Start the live stream and then start it. And I'm like, okay. So I did. And, you know, in that, when I hold, you know, full moon ceremonies, or any of my courses, usually, most of the time I pull cards for the people that attend. So give, you know, psychic readings, to the attendees, and, you know, the divine souls that turned up, you know, I just felt called to start doing that straight away. Usually I do it at the end after we have a debrief and blah, blah, but it's just, you know, just sat. I wasn't allowed to, or just, I couldn't. It wasn't right to set up crystal grids, so I just sat, and it was in nature, just down the road here, closer to the main road for whatever reason. Obviously more healing needs to go on, and it was really significant in a sense that, you know, I did the readings, and then when I was kind of at the last person, I just felt this like thing wash over me. It was just like, oh, the ceremony started, right? And it wasn't a traditional style of ceremony that I've ever held, like, you know, kind of got your routine happening that you do. It wasn't anything like this. And I just felt it, and I'm like, right, ceremony started. I put the cards down. I didn't even end up setting a crystal grid. They were just sitting on the earth. The cards were in a bit of a circle representing the people that were present at the ceremony. And it was like, and it's the same. I've only ever seen in real life 2 portals, and I feel humbled and in awe even right now as I'm speaking about it, like who has actually seen a real live portal, not on TV, and it appeared, it just opened up, and it when I say pixel portal, it's because it's the way that I can describe it. And you know, the first one happened it was probably August. It was August last year. That's when the first pixel portal opened up that I've ever seen before, right? And that's how I can describe it. It's like, you know, when you see, you know, a pixel on a TV screen or a pixel on a computer screen, like obviously they're so tiny we can't see them, right? But on a, you know, an image or something like that, when you say an enlarged pixel or whatever, it's like a square, right? That's what these portals look like. Like it was, and I just knew they were portals. Like it's like unquestionable. Like there's no doubt about that, right? Whatever. What else would fucking appear like a computer screen right there in front of the tree? Do you know what I mean? Like I'm outside at the tree. Like what opens up is a friggin' pixel portal. Like, and at the ceremony, it was a white one. Like it just, you know, I was just doing my thing and I felt it and I'm like, right, ceremony started, and then boom, there it was. And it kind of like just opened, like it was like it just appeared like a rectangle. It was more rectangle than square. You know, kind of over there, you know, it was like over, well, back down there, and I'm just like, okay, ceremony's really started. And then this incredible download came through that I've never ever experienced anything like that before, and I've had some pretty out there things, which I'm going to share one of them as I put crazy meditation stories on here too, because, you know, and like I do believe that ceremony last night was as powerful as it was because of that pixel portal. I truly do believe that. The other pixel portal that I saw in August last year, like I said, this is the first time I've ever experienced or seen portals in real life. What's real these days? But do you know what I mean? Like, and I was outside as well. It was actually when my ex's mother passed over. I wasn't there, but you know, I was at home and I was sitting outside, and it opened up in the sky. Like I just happened to look up because I like stargazing, if you know me. And I looked up and it just, the same thing. It was like a square opened up. It was purple, that one, in August. And when it closed, you know, when like the old fashioned TVs turned off and they kind of go zoom and they kind of go into a little circle and turn off, right? It's just how they turn off. I don't know. That's what the portal did. It just kind of, and I was like, did I just see that? Because there was all these events that led up to that, you know, pixel portal as well in the sky, the purple one in August last year. And it was, you know, like his mother was dying and I had all these mediumship, you know, experiences and stuff like that. So that was the first experience, and I'd never experienced anything like that before. Was very connected to star beings and the crown chakra because that's the opening, and it was purple, and I'm like, oh, maybe that's why, because we're actually filming crown chakra at that time and we're in that energy. Plus, you know, she passed over, but last night, doing, you know, that full moon ceremony and the other white one opening up, like, and it felt different. It was a very different energy. Obviously there were different colors as well. So last night was white. The other one was purple last August. But it was very, very like last night's ceremony was blowing my mind because of, I know it was so powerful because of that portal there. And those of you who that attended, Tracy, you watched the replay, which by the way, you can get the replay as well. The replay, I'll post a link in the comments to join and get instant access. The replay is sitting there, so if you really feel called to be in that energy, and what activated last night was unlike anything I've experienced before. So I'll post a link in the comments when I get off this live stream, and you can dive straight in and listen to it and sit there and absorb it and be in that and activate it. Yeah, it was phenomenal. It was not like any other of the full moon ceremonies. It was very different. Even from the very start, it was just like, just sit, don't do anything, just sit on the earth. And I'm like I couldn't, literally, I'm like, but I got to set up. Well, I wasn't like that, but I was like, I can't even set up. Like, I'm not, it was just like, just sit. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, it was just Absolutely amazing. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. And I was sharing in there, last night too, like on the full moon ceremony at the beginning of December, which was the start of our 3 super moons, if you remember. And in that ceremony, I was guided and I took the group through, we kind of traveled to the moon, and then we ended up in a mermaid's cave. And, receiving this divine frequency, and that was a resource for us, right? Any of my tools tend to be that way, can return to it anytime you need that resourcing. And, kind of since then, I have done that several times, and this is where I'm talking about the crazy meditation stories. I was sharing last night in the group that, like when I'm in the shower, as you've known, if you've heard, I get a lot of downloads and information. I'll have to hurry to get out of the shower and write stuff down half the time. But when I'm in the shower too, when I stand there and the water flows over my crown, kind of just on my hairline, and I just let it flow over me, the sound going over my ears, and if I just close my eyes, it's I'm a mermaid and I'm swimming through the ocean. It can really travel in that regard, and it's just cleansing. And a couple of times I've gone back to those caves to replenish and restock with the messages of how to do that came through in the ceremony. And it was going to the caves, and when it was about 10 days ago, I remember I said it in the group last night, it was 10 days ago around about that I actually went back, because I'm I need something, and I had a shower and I was I'm going to the cave, I'm going to go to the cave. And I took myself there, and the lights were out, there was nobody there, all the potions and stuff were not there, and I'm this is really weird. I've never gone to a resource before and all the lights were out, nobody's home. It was so weird, right? Go to your resources, and I'm got out of the shower feeling really fucking weird. I'm that's so fucking weird. How can it not be there? How can nobody be home, right? It was a bit strange, and I kind of didn't really think too much of it, but I just thought it was weird. After last night's full moon ceremony, I kind of understand why now. And I was just okay, got it. Somehow, I don't understand how, but I've got it, right? So it's phenomenal things happen, but I do believe that white pixel portal opening up last night, I didn't summon that, I didn't call that in, I didn't, ask for it. I really do believe it was just a series of events of alignment, pure, unadulterated alignment of being on your life purpose, stepping up, serving, your community, your family, your life in how you are being called to serve. Like I said, I was in the middle of Heal the Land workshops, and, that was powerful in itself to be able to ground down that information and now put that in front of, so many people that can take those tools and heal the land. It was way more powerful than I expected to, that Heal the Land. I knew what I was doing was powerful, but when I stepped up to teach it in the past 3 days and finishing this morning, beyond phenomenal. That one too, because I realized with the the rituals and the processes that I was doing on the land, I said in the workshop today, right, that because the thing is, we're human, we have hearts, we see forest destruction, we see construction of buildings, and we're yeah, we need this, but we don't. But we're torn, because we're we're evolving and we kind of love technology. We use it every day. But then another part of us is going, we're destroying our planet, but I don't know what to do. But I love technology. It's this, we're torn, right? And I knew the Heal the Land is important for us to, one, step up and help all the souls that have been slaughtered and outcasted and more over the centuries, to help them pass over. But with Heal the Land, it's also the second aspect of it is, what do we do with the land that has been, deforested and, built houses and, what happens in this, and this key part that I'm about to share with you didn't occur to me, what I've been doing, until I stepped up and taught it in workshop 3 this morning, right? I was at workshop 3 this morning. And I'm sharing this for the power of stepping into your life purpose and teaching what you know in your heart needs to be shared with the world, because you're being called to do it. So in me stepping up and teaching the final workshop this morning, what I realized only in the workshop, speaking it and teaching it, of actually what I've done and what I'm now teaching people to do, is that when we go and heal certain parts of the land that have been specific, I'm talking specifically here about the parts that have been deforested and, and construction is now being built on that specific part of the land, is like when there's a forest, right? Say for here, for example, there's all these trees and water and land, and the trees have got energy and the plants have got energy. And what they're doing, those trees and plants and stuff, they're creating a specific energetic vibration frequency field, right? Like it's a specific, like if you think of sacred geometrics and, like how energy vibrates and all of that, they've got their own little energy thing going on here, right? So when a section gets deforested for housing or construction of some sort, so two things happen. One, that whole energetic and sacred geometrics of the trees and the plants and the dirt itself gets like, it's just like, whoa, what the fuck's going on here, right? It gets absolutely kind of blown and shattered to smithereens, right? And then the second thing that happens is that when they come and construct on the land, they're digging holes, pouring concrete, all that jazz, and then houses are being built, and then people come in, live in houses or cars or roads or buildings or whatever, right? So then there's a new energy frequency on top of that, on top of, like the deforestation, so all that's just gone and totally deconstructed. And then, the drilling into the earth and the concrete and all the construction on top, bang, 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 and whatever, has now created another discord in the energy, because it's just like, oh my God, what's going on? And then the people come and they live on that, and that creates another frequency as well. So there's 3 other frequencies that have just kind of reset in this little area, plus it affects the big picture as well, right? And the part that I didn't realize until I was stepping up and teaching it this morning was that the Heal the Land that I'm doing, have taught now, and is now in workshop format, which will be available to purchase later on soon as well. So if that calls to you, please keep an eye out for it. Obviously it was recorded live, so you can watch the recordings, is what I'm saying. Because all that information is there, is that with what I teach and what I was called to teach and what I've been doing with Heal the Land, is that you're not only healing the land, but you're reconstructing, you're reconstructing the energy frequency of what is now there. So like you're healing the land, you're repairing it, but you're also reconstructing the new energy frequency of healed land and now whatever has been built there. So what you're doing in essence is you're repairing a vibration of a part of the planet that's just gone, but you're also evolutionizing it. I don't know what that word is. Evolutionizing, is that what it is? So like there's a constant evolution going on, like the roads and stuff, like, yeah, we can live without them, we're tribes, we need to return to that, right? The core, hard, cold reality of right now is that the world's probably not going to just bulldoze all the houses and cities to plant forests. Like, it's kind of a reality that's not in reality, if that makes sense, right? It's not going to happen. Maybe in the next 500 years, I don't know, but not, do you know what I mean? But what we can be doing right now is we're reconstructing the energy of what we deconstructed and making it fit, I guess, in a higher frequency than to support our evolution and revolution, I guess, of our new earth. And I did not get that bit of information until I was stepping up and teaching it this morning. And I was like, of course. I'm like, hello, no wonder I felt so called to pass this information on. It makes it even more powerful than I realised until that minute that I was teaching it this morning on the final workshop after the portal opened up, that I didn't even call into the space in the full moon ceremony. Oh my God, right? Huge. Please give me some love hearts if that makes complete sense to you, because I was like, oh, of course that makes, of course that's what we're doing. Even more powerful than just going and healing the land. Even more powerful than just going and helping the souls pass over. Like, all that stuff's powerful, but this is next level powerful. This is truly bringing in the new earth, like a phenomenal, crazy ass, oh my God stuff. Like, wow. And I feel totally humbled and absolutely, like, literally humbled. Absolutely humbled. So humbled, right? Just that I am being called to do this work, to then pass the knowledge on, for more of us to be doing this work, because this is what's setting the foundation for the vibration for the new earth. Yeah, you cry when seeing new housing go up, and you cry for the habitat that is losing their home. Yeah, like, it's a big deal. And I was thinking about that just recently, actually, how I remember when I think I must have been about 13 or 14, and in my, local neighbourhood, I'd always go down the shops with my friends after school and we'd buy lollies and eat sugar till it came out of our ears. Nerds and all this sort of stuff. I was a sugar fiend back then. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to share, but and I remember there was a piece of bushland, left, and at one point it got, it was like kind of the last bit of chunk of bushland in a suburb, and I come along one day and it had been cleared, and all the pegs and the markers were in where the surveyors had come out, and I just got so fuming, and I just ran through the place and I pulled out all the stakes and everything. Like, I was so upset. I was like, how can you do this? Like, so I totally get it. And, ultimately, as a single-eyed person, yes, we can support charities and, companies that are really, doing great work in this world to save environments, like 100%. But at the same time, there's a part of us that still feels completely powerless to do anything the fuck about it, right? I think that is why the tree was so huge for you. Oh, tree? Oh, in the ceremony, do you mean? Just wondering where the tree was significant for you, because I know that you could feel those trees as well last night, or this morning when you watched it. And this is why, there's still an air of powerlessness about it, even though we can support charities, and I do believe there's a lot of us that are like, yeah, we love technology, and look, I can connect with you. I friggin' love technology myself, but there's roads, there's construction, I want a new house, I want a new car, I like all the material things, and I also know what it's doing to the planet. So there is a bit of a inside, oh yes, we can live all in tribes, but ultimately, what's the reality of that going to be happening anytime soon? I mean, who knows what's going to happen? But do you know what I mean? And this key is what, that realization this morning, Stephanie, I'm teaching that. I'm like, oh my God, this needs to be shared. Oh my God. So I'm putting it all together. Always was going to anyway. And it'll be available for sale. I'm planning on putting it all up together this afternoon, but it'll definitely be released this coming week for sure. So if it does call to you and you did miss it, you can still get your hands on it, because it is powerful information and this stuff needs to come out in the world to those who really feel the call, because this work isn't for everyone. This is for the psychics, the intuitives, the mediums, the people who are, already doing this work. And it doesn't mean that, oh, I'm not doing it professionally, so I can't do it. That's not what I'm saying. If you're intuitive, if you feel a connection in your intuition with nature, with your spirit guides, then this is for you. And please trust that honor in the call, because that's why I felt called to put it together so quickly. Within 2 weeks, I'm here teaching it, and now it's ready for you guys, because this information needs to be passed on. Because the more of us that are resetting the energetic vibration and the frequency of all the shit that's going on the planet, the more we can come into harmony and that homeostasis rebalance, yeah? And the thing about, resetting that energy frequency in those places of construction and, all that deforestation and, helping the souls move over that have been slaughtered and so much more, we shift the vibration of that particular place in the planet to one of, again, like I just said, it's that homeostasis rebalance, right? And what happens is when people pass through that bit of energy, like they're automatically activated to their highest being, to that divine spark in their light, to help people wake up. Because when everybody's walking around in pain and, you know, the earth's in pain and that, well, then that is a frequency and that is, you know, a reality of what everybody's feeling. But when we can shift certain places on the planet, and, you know, when we, you know, I teach it in the course of how to actually re-frequentize the energy frequency of that piece of land, no matter what's on it, then we activate that, and there's an intention setting to, you know, everybody has that divine spark within them, and as soon as they walk past a place, it gets a little bit brighter and they wake up, right? This is what we want for the planet. Yes, with her giving us life force. Yeah, the tree is massive. Like, and I wrote about the trees too. Obviously, they're really being called to be heard at the moment. Hence why I'm also being called to sit out in the bush here. Let me turn this camera and like sitting out in the bush. Even though this house is just to my right, but this little bit of nature has called. So yeah, if you didn't see my blog about resetting or protecting yourself from EMFs, it was about reconnecting with nature and the trees. That is down on my page. If you scroll down, you'll see that. If you do want the link to Heal the Land when it becomes available for sale this week, you'll be the fully recorded, and all of the tools that you need are in that, because I held the live workshop. The last one was this morning. Yeah, it's beautiful here, and it's supposed to be raining all week, so I was like, oh, I need the sunshine, please. So yeah, just send me a message if you want the link when that's ready, and I'll also post a link in the comments when I jump off this live stream to the full moon ceremony, because that recording is sitting there as well if you really want the energy, and that freaking it's beyond next level. This is the activation from last night is literally beyond next level. Because in this space of where this came from, there is not levels, there just is. And it is, words don't even, I can't speak because words don't even do it justice, is pretty much how I feel about that. So if it calls to you, I'll post a link in the comments. If you want the first in access to Heal the Land when it becomes available this week, please send me a message. If you think this live stream can help somebody, please tag them in the comments or share it to them privately. If you need this for reference, you can share it to yourself in a private message, so you've always got the access to it. And remember, we're keeping it real. Lots of love from divine nature. Yeah, ready to ride the spaceship. It was absolutely freaking phenomenal. Absolutely mind-blowing. So I will post a link in the comments. You need to get in there if this resonates or calls to you at any moment in time that I've been speaking. It is truly beyond next level. It doesn't have words. So lots of love. Namaste.